Would an all-Danish team win the Premier League? The English Premier League kicks off again this weekend, with so much to play for several Danish players. In fact, there are precisely 14 Danish players in this season's Premier League, which is over 3% of all foreign players, which is nearly enough to fill a whole fantasy Premier League squad. So I've created a fantasy squad with as many Danes as possible. Do I think this team are going to walk the league? Well, the team definitely has strengths. Firstly, I can field a full Danish 11. There are only 3 Danish defenders in the Premier League, so I've bent the rules a little and included 1 Swede and 1 Norwegian on the bench. Super Scandi subs, if you will, and I was able to include nearly every Danish player in the league, except for poor Philip Billing. I might transfer Billing in as the season progresses, but I'm not convinced he's going to have many appearances for Bournemouth. And finally, I would argue that the squad has plenty of maturity and seniority. 7 of these players were in Denmark's last international squad, and 3 others were called up in the last 12 months. Players like Andersen, Nurgaard and Damsgaard have plenty of Premier League experience. Does the team have any limitations? Selvfølgelig. If I'm determined to be Danish, there is only 1 other player in the league I can transfer in. I may as well just set and forget for the whole season. I also don't think all these players are going to be starters. I'm really impressed there's actually 2 Danish keepers in the league right now, but with Jørgensen at Chelsea and Hermansen at West Ham, I don't think it's likely that either of them will be number 1 every week. The team isn't very well represented in terms of clubs either. Nearly half the outfield players either play for Brentford or Man United, and any decent fantasy manager should aim to have no players from Man United. Speaking of United, I think this team's attack is pretty toothless. Højlund only scored 4 in the league last season, and Osula and Obi aren't guaranteed starters. If Højlund leaves United, you could argue that no Danish forward will score a goal this season, but it's not like there's any good Norwegian or Swedish strikers in the league. So I'm not too worried. If you want to follow the team, they're called Danish Dynamite. Will the Danish Dynamite go off with a bang? You can let me know in the comments below.